Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm Brain.
And I'm Anna. We're super excited you're here with us today because we're talking about something every English learner struggles with.
Yep, understanding native English speakers. You know, when someone talks fast, uses slang, or just mumbles through a sentence and you're like, wait, what did they just say?
We've all been there. Even advanced learners get stuck. Native speakers don't always talk like the textbooks, and that can be frustrating.
Totally. But here's the good news. You can train your ears to understand them. And today, we'll show you how.
We're going to break down why native speech is hard to follow, what connected speech is, and how to practice listening the smart way so you can finally understand fast English in real conversations, movies, YouTube videos, everything.
So grab your headphones, sit back, and let's unlock the secret to understanding native English speakers once and for all. So Anna, let's start with the big question. Why is it so difficult to understand native English speakers?
That's a great place to start, Brain. First of all, native speakers speak fast. I mean, really fast. They don't pause much between words, and that can be super confusing for learners.
Exactly. And when they speak fast, they don't pronounce every word clearly like in a classroom. Instead of saying, "What are you doing?" they say, "What you doing?"
Right. And they use a lot of informal phrases, contractions, and even made-up words sometimes. You hear things like gonna, wanna, lemme, gotta, and unless you've heard those before, they can sound like a different language.
Also, let's not forget accents. English has so many accents: American, British, Australian, and even regional ones within a country. So, the way someone from London speaks might sound completely different from someone in Texas.
Definitely. And there's also something called connected speech, which we'll go deeper into later. But basically, it means that native speakers connect words together when they talk. Like, I want to eat it becomes I want to eat it, or even I want to eat it.
Yeah, and when you're a learner, your brain is trying to find each word separately. But native speakers just blend it all together like a smoothie. It's hard to pick out the pieces at first.
And here's another challenge: slang and idioms. Imagine someone says, it's raining cats and dogs, or I'm feeling under the weather. If you don't know those expressions, you'll probably get confused even if you understand every individual word.
Exactly. So to sum it up, fast speech, connected speech, slang, idioms, contractions, and accents. These are the main reasons understanding native speakers feels so tough.
But don't worry if you're listening and thinking, that's me. You're not alone. And the good news is, there's a way to train your brain and your ears to handle all of this. And we'll show you how.
That's right. Let's start with one of the most important tools you have: listening practice. Not just any listening, but the right kind of practice.
All right, Brain. Now that we know why it's hard to understand native speakers, let's talk about the solution listening practice.
Absolutely. But not just passive listening, intentional, focused listening. A lot of learners think they're improving just by watching movies or listening to songs. And while that helps a little, it's not enough.
Exactly. There are two types of listening: passive and active. Passive listening is when English is just playing in the background like music while you're doing something else.
Right. And it's useful for getting used to the sound of English. But active listening is where the magic happens. That's when you sit down, focus, and try to catch every word, every phrase.
And maybe even pause and repeat parts you don't understand. That's how you train your ears to catch the natural flow of English.
Here's something cool. The brain is like a muscle. If you keep listening to fast English and trying to understand, even if it's hard at first, you'll actually get better over time.
Yes! Think of it like going to the gym. At first, it's painful, but after a few weeks, your body gets stronger. Same with your brain, the more you listen, the more it adapts.
And you don't have to start with difficult stuff. You can begin with slow podcasts, English learners' YouTube videos, or shows with subtitles.
Then slowly move to native content TV shows, interviews, or real conversations, and challenge yourself. Over time, your brain will start recognizing sounds, patterns, and common phrases.
I always say, don't worry if you don't understand everything. Focus on understanding a little more each time.
Exactly. Progress comes in small steps. And one powerful habit is listening to English every single day, even just 10 minutes.
Consistency is key, and pretty soon your ears will start picking up words and phrases automatically even in fast native speech.
So don't give up if it's hard right now. Trust the process. With enough practice, your ears will adjust and you'll start to understand much more than you ever thought possible.
And now that we've talked about listening, let's zoom in on something that really trips learners up: connected speech. All right, it's time to talk about one of the biggest reasons native English sounds so different from what you learn in school: connected speech.
Oh, yes, connected speech is something most learners have never even heard of, but it makes a huge difference in how real English sounds.
So, what is it? Basically, it's when native speakers link words together in natural speech. They don't stop and pronounce each word clearly like this. What are you doing? Nope. They say, what you doing?
Right. It's like the words melt into each other. Here's another example. I'm going to eat it becomes I'm gonna eat it, or even I'm gonna eat it. That's connected speech.
And it's not just with gonna or wanna. It happens everywhere. Like did you becomes did ya, and let me becomes lemme.
And that's why learners get confused. You hear let me know and you're trying to find let me in there, but your brain doesn't recognize it because it sounds different.
Exactly. And it's not your fault. You were probably taught to pronounce each word clearly, which is good for learning, but real-life English doesn't work that way.
Here's a fun tip. When you hear a sentence that sounds too fast, slow it down and write it out. Then look at which words are being connected or reduced.
Yeah, and try repeating it the way natives say it. That's called shadowing, and it's one of the best ways to get used to connected speech.
And over time, your brain will start catching these patterns automatically. You'll go from I don't understand anything to hey, that makes sense now.
So remember, connected speech is not a problem. It's a pattern. And once you learn the pattern, you unlock a whole new level of English listening.
Coming up next, we'll show you even more examples of these reductions and native shortcuts you need to know. All right, now that we understand connected speech, let's talk about something that goes hand in hand with it: reductions and native shortcuts.
Yes, these are the little changes native speakers make to words when they speak fast. Instead of saying the full phrase, they shorten it or blend it, which makes it sound totally different from what learners expect.
Let's give some real examples. Instead of saying going to, native speakers often say gonna, like I'm gonna call you later.
Another one is want to becoming wanna. For example, do you want to grab lunch?
And got to turns into gotta, so I've gotta go becomes I gotta go.
Also, you'll hear lemme instead of let me, and gimme instead of give me. Like, lemme help you, or gimme a second.
And did you often becomes did ya, like did ya see that movie last night? These shortcuts are used all the time in casual conversations.
So, if you're only familiar with textbook English, these shortcuts might sound like totally new words. But once you learn them, you'll start hearing them everywhere.
Here's what you can do. Make a list of the most common reductions like gonna, wanna, gotta, lemme, gimme, and listen for them when you watch English videos.
And try to say them out loud, too. Practice speaking with reductions. That way, you're not only understanding them, you're using them too.
It's also helpful to listen to short clips or scenes and repeat what you hear exactly how the native speaker says it. This will help you get used to the natural rhythm and flow.
Remember, the goal isn't to sound like a robot, it's to sound natural. These shortcuts are part of what makes native English sound smooth and relaxed.
So don't be afraid of them. Embrace them. They're your secret weapon to understanding native speech.
And now, let's talk about two things that make native English even trickier: accents and speed. But don't worry, we've got tips for that too. All right, Anna. So now that we've tackled reductions and connected speech, let's face another big challenge: accents and speed.
Oh yes, this one gets a lot of learners. They say, I can understand my teacher, but I can't understand people in real life. And that's usually because native speakers speak faster and have different accents.
Exactly. English is spoken all around the world, and even in the same country, accents can vary a lot. Someone from New York sounds very different from someone in London or Sydney.
And let's be honest, some accents are harder to understand at first, but that doesn't mean you can't learn to understand them. It just takes exposure and practice.
Right. If you only listen to one accent, say, American English, you'll struggle when you hear a British or Australian speaker. So the trick is to listen to many different accents on purpose.
You can do that by watching YouTube videos from different countries, listening to podcasts, or even switching subtitles on and off to catch new sounds.
And about speed, don't stress if it sounds too fast. You can slow down the audio. Most platforms like YouTube or Spotify let you play at 0.75x speed. That helps a lot when you're training your ears.
Totally. Slow it down, repeat the part you missed, and gradually increase the speed again. Your goal is not just to keep up, but to understand comfortably.
Another tip: try shadowing short sentences. Pause after the native speaker. Repeat what they said with the same rhythm and speed. It's like syncing your brain with theirs.
It may feel strange at first, but it trains your ears and mouth at the same time. Soon, both accents and fast speech won't feel so scary.
So remember, accents and speed are not barriers. They're challenges you can beat with the right tools and regular listening practice.
And speaking of tools, let's walk through a simple step-by-step strategy you can follow to improve your listening skills starting today. All right, so now let's give our listeners something really practical, a clear step-by-step strategy to improve their English listening skills.
Yes! So if you're serious about understanding native speakers, grab a notebook, because this is your listening routine.
Step 1. Choose the right material. Start with something you enjoy like a podcast, YouTube video, or a scene from a TV show, but make sure it has subtitles and is not too advanced.
Right. If it's too hard, you'll get frustrated. Start with intermediate-level content where you can follow the topic, even if you don't catch every word.
Step 2. Watch or listen once with subtitles. Just try to understand the overall message. Don't worry about every word.
Then comes step 3. Go back and listen again, but this time pause and repeat. Choose short sections, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and play them slowly.
You can even use YouTube's slow speed feature. And if you hear a phrase you don't understand, write it down, look it up, and practice saying it out loud.
Exactly. Step 4. Do shadowing. That means repeating what the speaker says right after them, trying to copy their pronunciation, rhythm, and speed.
This helps you not just hear English better, but feel how it's spoken. Your mouth and brain work together, and it becomes more natural over time.
And finally, step 5. Repeat this every day, even for just 10 or 15 minutes. Consistency is more important than long study sessions once a week.
Yes, make it a daily habit, just like brushing your teeth. Listen, repeat, shadow, and improve. Step by step, your ears will get sharper.
And don't worry if you don't see results right away. Some days will be hard, but if you stick with this routine, you'll be amazed at your progress in a few weeks.
So to recap, 1. Choose the right material. 2. Listen with subtitles. 3. Pause and repeat. 4. Shadow the speaker. 5. Practice daily.
That's your strategy for understanding fast, natural English.
Coming up next, we'll show you how to use TV shows, movies, and YouTube in a smart way to boost your listening even more.
Okay, Anna, now let's talk about something fun using TV shows, movies, and YouTube to improve listening skills. But the key is to use them smartly.
Yes, a lot of learners just watch English content for entertainment, which is great, but if you want to improve your listening, you need to be active while watching.
Exactly. For example, don't just watch an entire episode of a show. Choose a short 2-3 minute scene and study it deeply.
Start by watching it with subtitles. Try to understand the context, the tone, and the expressions. Then go back. Turn off the subtitles and see what you can catch on your own.
And here's a great technique: pause after every line, repeat what the characters said, and then compare it with the subtitles. This helps you connect how words sound when spoken naturally.
Also, shows like Friends, The Office, or Modern Family are great because they use everyday conversational English.
Totally. And on YouTube, you can find tons of native English vloggers, lifestyle channels, or travel videos. Just search Day in the Life or English Conversation Vlog. They're full of real, natural speech.
And don't forget, YouTube lets you slow down the video speed. That's super helpful for catching every word and understanding connected speech.
So, treat videos like learning tools, not just entertainment. Watch with purpose, study short clips, repeat what you hear, and your ears will get sharper every time.
All right, now it's time for one of my favorite parts. Let's share some of our personal tips that helped us and our students improve faster. Okay, Brain, now let's get personal. What's one listening tip that really helped you or your students understand native English better?
One thing that's worked super well is listening to short audio clips repeatedly. I always tell learners, choose one short podcast or video clip, just 1 minute long, and listen to it every day for a week. You'll be surprised how much more you understand by day 7.
That's a great one. I used to do something similar. I would shadow real conversations from TV shows. I picked scenes with casual daily English and repeated them line by line, copying the tone and speed.
Nice. I also recommend turning English into part of your daily life. For example, change your phone language to English. Follow English-speaking creators on social media, or listen to English podcasts while walking or cooking.
Yes, make English your environment even when you're not studying. That passive exposure adds up over time.
And here's a fun tip. Record yourself repeating a native sentence, then play both recordings and compare. It feels awkward at first, but it's one of the fastest ways to improve your listening and pronunciation.
I love that. And remember, don't try to understand everything. Focus on what you do understand and build from there. Your brain will fill in the gaps over time.
Exactly. Small daily effort leads to big progress. And speaking of small challenges,
It's time for Anna's challenge to help our listeners put today's lesson into action. All right, listeners, it's challenge time. If you want to boost your understanding of native speakers, here's a simple but powerful task for you this week.
sounds exciting. What's the challenge, Anna?
I want you to find a short video or audio clip about 3 to 5 minutes of native English speech. It could be a vlog, a podcast episode, a TV show scene, anything you like.
Okay. And then?
Watch or listen to it once with subtitles to get the overall idea. Then, Listen again, but this time, try to write down exactly what you hear, as much as you can.
Ah, that's a great way to train your ears and focus on details.
Yes, don't worry if you miss words at first. After writing, check the subtitles or transcript and see where you made mistakes or missed parts.
This will help you notice connected speech, reductions, and tricky pronunciations.
Exactly. And if you want to take it further, try shadowing repeat after the speaker, imitating their rhythm and pronunciation.
Awesome challenge, Anna. Listeners, take this seriously and share your progress with us in the comments or on social media.
We'll be cheering for you every step of the way. Ready to keep going? Next up is a quick motivational message to keep you inspired.
Before we wrap up, Anna, I want to remind everyone listening, learning to understand native speakers isn't easy, but it's completely possible.
Absolutely. It takes time, patience, and consistent effort. But every minute you spend practicing brings you closer to your goal.
Think about where you were a few months ago. Even small progress is huge. Your brain is rewiring itself to hear and understand English naturally.
And it's okay to feel frustrated sometimes. Every learner goes through it. The key is to keep going and not give up.
Remember, even native speakers sometimes struggle to understand new accents or fast speech. So, be kind to yourself.
Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Every word you catch, every phrase you understand, that's a step forward.
Keep practicing, stay curious, and trust the process. You're building a skill that will open doors for you forever.
We believe in you, and we're here to help every step of the way.
All right, to wrap things up, let's quickly review the most important points from today's episode on understanding native speakers.
First, remember that native speakers talk fast, use connected speech, reductions, and slang. That's why it feels so hard sometimes.
But the good news is, you can train your ears with focused listening practice. Start with materials you enjoy and gradually challenge yourself.
Use tools like subtitles, slow-down features, and shadowing to get familiar with natural English rhythms.
Don't forget to listen every day, even if it's just for 10 to 15 minutes. Consistency is the secret to progress.
And lastly, embrace the process. Don't get discouraged if you don't understand everything right away. Understanding native speakers is a skill you build over time.
Exactly. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and soon you'll notice how much easier it becomes.
Thanks for being with us today. We hope these tips help you get closer to your English goals.
That's it for today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. Thanks so much for listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a lesson.
And please leave us a comment or review. We love hearing your questions and stories about learning English.
Also, share this episode with your friends who want to understand native speakers better. Until next time, keep practicing, stay curious, and happy listening.
We'll be back soon with more tips and tricks to help you speak English confidently. See you soon!